Hello, everybody. It's probably about 8 o'clock or 8:15 p.m. I just got off of a 3-hour auction. I was finding birthday presents for myself as if I need another reason to buy plants. However, I'm venturing into other areas that I didn't think I'd be interested in. I've been checking everything today, and a lot of this stuff has never been watered, but you'll see how hardy it is. And when you're pushing on your plants, how firm. That means they're very nicely rooted and they're plump enough that they don't need water. So I'm learning how to read my succulents and I'm learning how to read my cacti. It was quite a challenge in the beginning. I do have one that I tried forever to get to root, and it just came as a really lame specimen. I mean, to be as honest as I can, it's a puntia. Sorry, I can't see it through the screen here. Beaver tail, and I ordered it from a company, and their stuff is just garbage. But I can't throw it away. I got to give it a go, and it finally has rooted. So I'm hoping. As they said, where it's dormant, it comes back to look a lot nicer because it's not a pretty plant. It's one of the first Opuntias I bought. And like I said, it's a beaver tail. I've got some other ones up here. I've got some in the back over there. And I've got bunny ears here. Yeah, those are bunny ears. I've got angel wings as well. You can tell why it's called bunny ears. It always grows two really nice ears off of a main stem. But what I'm learning is that even though when I started all this, I started with my peanut cactus, which is now going absolutely crazy since I transplanted it this last week. I never thought I would be interested in anything too exotic, too little. But I want to introduce you to two of my smallest plants I have. I have 5 of these. These are called desert rose. And this is called, if I say it right, a caudex. I'm learning about caudex, and it's where you have a big old chunky, meaty piece and then a few leaves that come off of it. So I have some work to do as far as learning about that. That's my booby cactus, and she's rooting up very quickly. She's still pretty loose, but she's rooting. This is one of the absolute first plants I bought, and I couldn't believe it because when it came, it had no leaves at all. And it was actually quite ugly. Hang on a second here. There we go. And it's called a pachypodium, and there's another part to that name, just a moment. Pachypodium, no, it came from China. I didn't know at the time, I wasn't really being aware of where my plants were coming from. I paid way too much for it, but I have to wonder if this is a caudex, and I'll do some research on that and get back to you. But this plant was really dormant. I've had it for 3 months, and in the last 2 weeks, it's finally come to life. Just so you know, these spikes, they're brutal. They want to cut your finger wide open. They are really sharp. And they're very hard. But it's so nice that something so soft and delicate can grow out of something that looks to be as hard as a rock. So that is one of my all-time smallest plants. You can see it in comparison to size to everything else. And so are my desert rose. This is a small, I believe this is a thimble cactus. And that just was a gift. I tend to get a lot of small gifts when I order from customers through eBay, and that's where that came from. You've seen these before. I've got some things that are blooming. This is a Spinissimo, mammillaria. Mammillarias always bloom around the top. I do have some other, like here's some more desert rose. I technically have 5. I've got 1, 2, 3, and I've got 2 more hidden in here somewhere. I'm not sure where they are exactly. They're somewhere around here. Anyway, this is also a really small specimen. This was actually a gift from my friend Christy, and I'm 90% sure It's what we call a Joseph's coat cactus. It's in way too big of a container. It'll grow in here for years. But at the time, that was all that I had. And they grow outward, the leaves grow outward from it. But it's called a Joseph's coat. So I have some that are very teeny tiny. This one, when I bought it for $5.99. And this was just barely sticking out of the soil at all. I got it at my favorite place in town, Bark and Garden. And it already had 2 babies, but they were a lot smaller. And now I have a 3rd baby there that's coming along. So that's no longer one of my smallest ones. You can see I have the other things that are even smaller. Here's another one of my desert rose. This is a bigger one. It's blooming better. It's growing its leaves better. And then, of course, I have a lot of teeny ones that when you put them all together, like this is actually 3, 4, 5, 6 plants together, then they get bigger. That one's not huge. This one, oh, what's growing? Oh, that's my other thing there. This is a Pachyphytum machucae baby finger. That's just a teeny tiny baby. And I like that. That's a baby finger, but it doesn't seem to be doing great. Either that or it's just always going to look that way. But one of my all-time favorite plants is this one. I love this one. It's the most unusual plant, and it's called baby toes. And when I bought it, you can see the bigger, kind of faded out ones. It had maybe 10 on the top, and it is growing really quickly. You can see that the babies come in at the crux of where others are at. So this is really interesting. I don't know how to root a new plant. I'm guessing to remove one of these, but I don't want to do that yet. My plant's not very big, and I really love this one. It's definitely an all-time favorite. These are teeny. These came from a company where I bought the really icky beaver tail over there, and then I got another another thing that I purchased from them. And it was not in great shape either. It's on the other side of the room. And then I went back and I ordered something else, and these came, and they're so little. They are just teeny tiny. And this one just won't seem to root. These 3 have rooted. These are, if I remember correctly, let's see. Yes, they are Mammillaria candidas. And these can actually grow singly. Ouch, I just jammed that right under my nail. These can grow to be quite large, but they came and they were just so puny, it was ridiculous. So small plants are everywhere. Medium plants, larger plants, plants that are growing out of control, and I'm not sure what to do with them because they're growing so fast, so crazy, like this one. That's my pickle plant. And then I have big plants like back there. That's my, I'm going to say it wrong, Cresto cactus. I am saying it wrong. It's my Cleistocactus tupianensis. And that's just got mondo amounts of starts in it. I bought that entire thing for $30 at Home Depot, and it's already starting to take off. I've got new growth, if you can see it, all the tops where it's white. And then these I planted last week. If you haven't seen this video, you need to watch this video. Not just because of how I planted this, humongous amounts of the humongous size of these purple prickly pears, but the story that I tell about becoming a gardener at a very young age is in that video. And I have other things, but I want to go over, because I've shown you all my small stuff. I've also got some really teeny tiny things, like this is called Purple Haze. I bought at a plant pop-up sale that was, well, pretty lame. This is one of my absolute smallest plants I have, and I started that from a leaf over here. And I ordered those. If you've seen the video, I ordered a bunch of those from a lady, and sadly, when they came, they were pretty much dead. And so I did ask for a refund, and I did get it. And this might be the only one that I get off of those with the white edging that I will eventually propagate into another plant. It's not even rooted yet. And then some of these are taking off. These are other starts. You'll see that at the scallop part is where they all grow from. I put these in the soil, I'm going to say a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. No, it would be about a week and a half. And they are taking off very quickly. But also some of the other ones that came that were not white like promised, like this one, which is what this will become. These are just a regular lavender scallop, and they are starting to grow some plants. So I do have some that are salvageable, not many, but I truly only have one from the leaves that I waited 2 weeks for that I'm in love with right here. So that's my smaller stuff. You know, I've got a lot of starts. Oh, by the way, this was kind of fun. I just found this in my window a little while ago. It never bloomed at Thanksgiving time, but it did have 1 million new leaves on it. Well, you know, 500,000. And it just finally bloomed. I just noticed it for the first time in the window. In fact, it had already bloomed, and I didn't give it enough water because I wasn't aware of it. So these are pretty much dead, but you'll see the new growth and the bulb there. I'm not sure I understand the bulb. I've never had a Christmas or a holiday cactus or a Thanksgiving cactus that grew actually a huge bulbous, I think it's a seed pod. I don't know. I've never had one do that, so I'll find out. I do want to go from my littlest to some of my biggest. This is my favorite area. I'm in love with my talls, Brazilian blue, and some of my new exotics. You'll notice I'm having more fun now with different top dressings, the stuff that we dress the top of the soil with. You know, like this one is just simple pumice, little rocks. I've got some clay pebbles in this one. I've got pumice in that one. I've got a mix of lava and other pebbles in that one. And then this one I have what's called polished glass pieces. And again, there's another top dressing. But this is my favorite area. That's my ghost cactus I bought from my friend Christy. These are also euphorbias in the same line with that one. That right there, that is one of my all-time favorites. It's one of my prettiest plants. That is a grafted mermaid tail. And then, of course, I'm in love with my spirals that I bought some time ago. They're rooting very quickly. I just planted them a week ago, and I'm already getting some stability on them. That's telling me they're rooting very quickly. This is my Brazilian blue that I'm absolutely in love with. Ow. But I need to get it to stand up more straight. It's really hard when they're a columnar. I haven't looked at these in a while. Have these started? Nope, not yet. Oh, yeah, I'm starting to... Oh, yeah, look at all those little roots off those little bitty baby burro's tail. Look at that. So, anyway, those are my bigs. That's my biggest agave. So, when you get into cactus and succulents, you might be surprised at what attracts you or how you evolve as a collector. I never imagined I would have large things like this. But you have no idea what's coming in the next week or two. I've been spoiling myself for my birthday, and I have spent far too much money on some extremely exotic things that are on their way in the next week or two. So yeah, have fun with it. Have fun with your collection. Allow yourself to try something new and evolve. There's my first monkey tail that's finally taking off. I just can't wait till a baby shows up. And then this is the second monkey tail I bought recently that has already a second, and it already has, if you look very carefully, you can't see it very well, but it has a third start coming off the same root base. I don't know if these pebbles are too deep. I have to go in there and I have to check. Rat tail's taken off. Everything seems to be exploding. I got new pups on top of just about everything. I've even got pups on top of my first Apuntio I bought. My first prickly pear, I never thought I would get anything off them, but they're taken off. So have fun with your collection. I know that every day I find something brand new that's happening and I get excited about, like this, off that little baby plant. And then I also had an experience that I had these 3 of these in a pot, a little pot, and then 3 of the other ones in a little pot, and they were really taking off and growing, because when I bought them, they were only about that big. And then I had to let them scab over. When you cut off a cactus, you have to let it scab and dry on the end really well, because if you put it directly in soil, it's going to rot. And when I just replanted these the other day, like this one and this one right here, this one's still really limp. You can see that. And I was worried I was going to lose them, but I think that's part of the shock process, because other plants go into shock. That one's still a little limpy, but they seem to be firming up a bit. So I think that it's going to be just fine. You just have to learn as you go and allow yourself to try something new. This is one of my aloe veras that came from one that was that big. So they're coming along. Things are looking good. I've still got some more transplanting to do. I almost got caught up. And then I only had these left. And then this is just part of my other plants that I'm transplanting. And then this stuff showed up here that I did a video about yesterday. And now I'm pretty sure I have about 50 new plants, 40 to 50 that are showing up in the next 2 weeks. So I got to get my rear in gear to get these transplanted. These are my starfish. Those are all going to go in one pot. But I'm also out of pots. So this weekend, I'm going hunting for terracotta, and I did order some online that are smaller, about this size, that are sitting in my classroom I forgot to bring home. So have fun, big or small, dangerously sharp or really soft and gentle, caudex or succulent. It just depends what your tastes are. And I'm really excited to see what happens in the next year. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you soon, and I will be doing a lot of videos as this stuff shows up in the next 10 days. See you later. Bye-bye.